slaves. And what's happening now, people are building businesses around it. From wealthy people are building businesses around birthright citizenship. That's not the way it's supposed to work. It's a disgrace. They're buying their way in, and we're not going to let it happen. So, Steve, if you will, please.
Yes, so today the president signed these two executive orders here relating to birthright citizenship and birth tourism. As the president mentioned, the 14th Amendment was passed exclusively in the aftermath of the Civil War so to ensure that the children of slaves would be citizens. It had no other meaning and purpose outside of that. And that's been clear, obviously, since the day that it was passed. You can go back and you can read the congressional debates. This is not something that's even seriously contested by anybody. The president is using his authority as commander-in-chief to sign first an executive order using the new ruling the Supreme Court issued to expand the definitions of people who are ineligible for birthright citizenship. That includes, for example, alien enemies of the United States, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and large categories of people who lobby and act on behalf of foreign governments. And so with taking this action, it ensures that large numbers of people who wrongly would be getting birthright citizenship will no longer be eligible for those benefits. The second action that he's taking, which is especially historic, is for the first time ever in American history to ban birth tourism. So I want you to really let that sink in. This has been something that people have talked about not only for years, but for decades. The idea that people come here pretending to be a tourist, pretending to be a visitor, saying they want to go to Disneyland, they want to go visit a monument or go to a national park, but the real reason they're here is to have a child, to make that child an automatic citizen, leave our country, and then have a U.S. citizen child. It gives them access under this broken system to welfare benefits, ultimately to the voting booth, and all the other rights and privileges that belong solely to Americans. So that practice of birth tourism is, as of the signing of this order, hereby banned. And with that.
Okay, now I'm going to leave the rest. You guys can watch the rest of the video because I only have so much time. Okay, so I looked all of this up because, of course, you guys know I did, because I was like, what? Woke up to it this morning. I was like, oh my. So let's get into it. Okay, so the question I had is, I said, can you please outline the executive order by President Trump to end birth tourism? All right. Now, and I said, also, can you please outline Immigration Section 215? Because that is what they're hanging their hat on. Now, you know there's going to be lawsuits behind this, which I would find fascinating, because people they act like, this doesn't exist. What are you talking about? So it's going to be interesting. Anyway, so it says, yes, on August 6th, President Trump signed two related executive orders in response to the Supreme Court's June 30th decision, right? Trump versus Barbara. One is specifically titled Ending Birth Tourism. Okay, so it's basically outlining, the order states U.S. citizenship is not a commodity to be obtained by exploiting temporary non-immigrant visas. It criticizes birth tourism operators who have deceptive advertising and coaching to help foreign nationals enter on non-immigrant visas, primarily to give birth on U.S. soil, securing citizenship for the child and potential future benefits. It argues this undermines the integrity of visa categories, diverts enforcement resources, and erodes public confidence in immigration law. My biggest question is this going to be retroactive? Are you going to go all the way back to when people started really doing this? And we do have an approximate date, and we'll get into that in just a second. So the key authority of delegation, the president delegates authority under Section 215A of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which is Title 8 U.S.C. Section 1185A, to the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security. This allows them to issue or adopt rules, policies, and operational guidance to implement the order, which means he's delegated that to them so they can enforce the law. basically. They can be like, nope, not today. So there's a process when people apply for their visas. It has to be examined, it has to be vetted, then it has to be approved so they can deny all of it. And it's going to probably have more scrutinizing questions. I would say, I don't want people peeing in a cup. I want you to have to walk through a scan. I want you to have to walk through a scan so we can see if there's something else hidden literally within your body. Because my whole thing is, if you were to violate this law, you should be immediately removed from the country and your child's not a valid citizen, period. The whole just soil argument doesn't work anymore. Doesn't work. Because you came here with intent that was illegal. And that's always been illegal, but it's very crazy how they just keep trying to force an invasion on us using our laws. It's really disgusting. So a companion order continuing to protect the meaning and value of American citizenship. Okay. It directs agencies not to issue or accept citizenship documents for certain categories of children born in the U.S. when neither parent is a citizen. This includes cases involving commercial transactions to obtain birthright citizenship, explicitly covering birth tourism arrangements and certain surrogacy uses. Children of certain foreign government employees, alien enemies, right, members of designated terrorist organization, and births in certain U.S. territories where citizenship is not conferred by statute. I absolutely love it. Keep it going on repeat. Now, I will have this link for you guys to really go over. So I say, ask for some of these operators. So here are some of the operating websites. Yes, there are websites, by the way, that promote this stuff. Okay. There's one, Have My Baby in Miami. Okay. It's Florida based. It offers concierge maternity packages, housing, airport transfers, hospital coordination, document guidance. It has claimed involvement in large numbers of international births and markets heavily to Brazilian and other Latin American clients. There's 𝗕𝗫𝗄𝗧𝗏 markets childbirth packages exclusively for international patients, post using birth tourism. This is the whole hashtag, right? And offer pricing for C-section and vaginal births, plus logistics and legal support. And that's in the Texas area. All right. And there's another one in El Paso, Texas. So there's as you can see, there's a lot of these places. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very, very crazy. And I say, can those operating facilities be prosecuted? Yes, they can be, because what they're doing is completely illegal. So operators of birth tourism facilities, maternity houses, and related concierge services can be prosecuted under U.S. federal law when their activities involve criminal conduct, most commonly visa fraud, right? Conspiracy, money laundering, and related offenses. Yeah, so a lot of these places that are literally online right now, let's just look up one in real time. Let's see. Let's look up the first one and see what comes up, because it didn't give me the links. Sometimes I'll get the links. Yeah. Have My Baby in Miami. That's a PDF. Oh, that's house.gov. Looking for it. And My Baby in Miami. They got a whole YouTube channel. What? Yeah, y'all are seeing this. Y'all are seeing this. That is insane to me. This is really good. But this is happening. This is happening. That's bold. Okay. To me, that is so bold. It's like, yep, we're gonna come and we're just gonna have our baby and we're just gonna do what we want. What? No, you're not. You're gonna stop invading our country. Have My Baby in Miami. Like I said, they have a whole whole dedicated website to this. What? And they've got thousands of subscribers. You can subscribe. I don't know if there's any videos. There's no videos, but you can subscribe. That's kind of weird. Okay, there we go. There's the videos. Okay, so here's a video. Let's see what it's got to say.
Hijo. Y el programa Tener mi bebé en Miami volverá.
Okay, it's not in English.